Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Survivor 46, episode 11, titled My Messy Sweet Little Friend. Previously on Survivor, Liz was pissed about Applebee's, and Tiffany and Idolicia both went home. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist where you can catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. There's also a link where you can try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. The survivors get back to camp and celebrate being final 7, but Kenzie is bummed and upset that she was left out on the Tiffany vote when she would have gone with it. So she feels blindsided on the Q is for quarantine boat on the beach. Charlie tells Kenzie that the plan was Maria's decision. Back at camp, Maria proposes that the group who voted together of Maria, Charlie, Ben, Q, and Liz take it to the final 5. Venus consoles Kenzie, telling her to keep her cool and act like she is not aware that Maria's running the game. Early the next morning, Maria, Kenzie, and Q watch the sunrise, and Maria sets the intention for the day.
I'm like shocked Tiff didn't play her idol. I guess that means it's time to start looking, right?
So everyone starts looking for Tiffany's idol when there are, I guess, 2 or 3 idols hidden around camp. Venus knows where Tiffany and Ranton found their idol, so she figures out where an idol is and finds it with her little stick, then rejoins the searching crowd. Then there's this.
Where's Liz?
Venus eventually opens her advantage and confirms that it's a real idol that's valid until the final 5. Kenzie and Venus meet again and bond over wanting to target Maria.
Here we are, me and my messy, sweet little friend.
Oop, she said the thing. Charlie congratulates Maria for the Tiffany vote and she is feeling herself. They can't believe that people don't see that they're running the game. Maria wants to keep bringing Q along, but Charlie's over Q and wants him out. Liz and Kenzie go for a walk where Liz says that Maria has to go and tells Kenzie about Maria proposing a final 5 of the people that voted together. Venus joins them and tells them that she thinks that Q found the idol, probably to get their votes off of Q, and tells them that she can get them the 4th vote that they need. Venus tells us that the 4th vote she has in mind is Charlie, so she approaches Charlie and starts working him. Venus and Kenzie tell Charlie that he's basically perceived as Maria's assistant and offer him the choice between Maria and Q, which seems like a good way to get his vote. They head to their challenge where they celebrate being the
Final several.
Long live Zelensky.
Their challenge starts with them navigating over a balance beam with a ball on top of a stick, then using the same sticks to navigate their ball on a table maze and sink 2 balls in 2 holes. They're playing for immunity and another sensual reward.
Pizza delivery. Pepperoni. Hawaiian.
And gluten-free. Must soda.
They get started and Challenge Beast Charlie bodies his balance beam, followed by Kenzie, Maria, Liz, and Q. Maria takes the lead, sinking the first ball in the maze, and now everyone's on the table maze following her, with Venus looking very compassionately at her ball. Maria drops her second ball, allowing a bunch of other players to catch up to her, and they're all messing up over and over. It comes down to Venus and Maria in a nail biter that sees Maria winning individual immunity. She decides to share her reward with an emotional Ben. For her next pick, she asks the other players to plead their cases to join her, which came off especially mob bossy. Maria really racks her brain about who to take, with Jeff saying he's never seen someone take this long to decide. Maria says she really wants to take someone who's starving and falling apart, and it's between Q and Liz, so she has them rock, paper, scissors, and Q wins. Liz says this is fucked up, and it kind of is. Q is definitely not starving. Just last week he was eating good in the neighborhood. They head back to camp where the pizzas have been delivered, and the no rewards are all bitter as hell about how the pizza picking went. Venus labels Maria as a villain, and they all agree to vote for Q at Next Tribal. The pizza eaters are enjoying a pizza that looks dry as hell and terrible. As they gloat, they discuss targeting Venus and being sure that Venus doesn't have an idol. The pizza eaters return to camp and Q informs Charlie that Venus is their target. When alone, the women confront Maria, with Liz calling her weird for her decision and Venus throwing eyes everywhere. Liz is going off about Q and Maria is like, Liz, he's right behind you, and Liz has I don't give a fuck-itis at this point and says the reason she has so many allergies is she takes shit from everybody her whole life and she's over it. Maria pulls Liz and tries to mend things with her, telling Liz that she likes working with her in the game. I think Maria would love Liz to be in the finals with her, especially after the daily outbursts. Kenzie and Venus talk to Charlie, who tells us that he envisions a final 4 that doesn't have Maria or Q in it. Venus then, very wink wink nudge nudgy, insinuates to Charlie that she has an idol and confidently tells us that she's not playing her idol tonight. As a viewer, you're like, Venus, no.
You in danger, girl.
Charlie and Ben meet and agree that they want Q out, but that conversation with Venus really spooked Charlie. Kenzie calls the boys scared babies for wanting to go back on the plan for the Q vote. They head to Tribal where Jeff brings his cushion and some licorice for the show and gives them all a piece of rish to share. They talk about Maria's pizza reward decision, a conversation that makes Maria look really bad, with Venus calling Maria an actress and cruel, which leads to some sassy back and forth between Q and Venus. Jeff brings up blindsides again, obviously pandering to Venus that she may need to play her idol.
You in danger, girl.
Liz tries to express how she feels about Q but can't get the words out. And Venus and Q have another brush up to vocal reaction from the jury.
That's why you didn't know about the last vote.
But I knew about the previous 3 and you didn't, so.
Ooh.
They head to vote and Jeff wants idols, but no idols are played, and the votes are 1 for Q, 1 for Kenzie, and 5 for Venus, becoming yet another person voted out with an idol in her pocket. That's 3 blindsides like this in a row, which somehow is boring. And we have to say goodbye to someone I was really rooting for here in Venus, who was pretty consistently entertaining throughout the season. She really played as a good foil to any of the players that were in power at any given time. You can tell she's a gamer who came to play hard, and she's not afraid to speak up and cause chaos, which was a pretty big weakness for her in the game because all of her tribe mates saw her as a chaotic figure. Through that, nobody really wanted to trust her, even though she was bringing people some really good ideas. The sketchy reputation that she had made it hard for her to make real allies. Coming into the merge, her tribe was annoyed with her and wanted her out, but the other players didn't seem to see her as a big threat to win the game. It seems like they saw her as a nuisance that they were willing to keep around, but I feel like this was an especially bad episode for her, where she made herself seem like a huge threat in the immunity challenge, then she finds an idol and tells Charlie about her idol. She insinuated to Charlie that she was going to use the idol to make big moves and get win equity. At that point, she was cooked. I think she's a really interesting player. I'd love to see her play again. I feel like this season she was playing like a returning player, which ended up being bad for her, but on an actual return, I feel like she'd be underestimated and probably do really well. Thinking ahead to next week, I'm really concerned for Kenzie. Ben voted for Kenzie in this tribal. That shows that Kenzie is to some degree expendable, at least to Ben. I really think there's a strong chance that Final 5 they've been talking about is real. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments, who do you think will go home next? If you liked the video, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'm here every Wednesday talking about Survivor. Until next time, have a nice weekend. Bye.